Hi, everybody. This is Rebecca Hart from Clear Tarot NYC. I'm the tarot philosopher on Instagram. Should I make all my handles the same across platforms? Probably, but today I have not. Funny story. So this is Rebecca. I do a weekly free tarot live stream Fridays at noon, where I do a free mini reading for someone I haven't seen before. If you want that to be you, please drop me a line in my direct messages over on Facebook, anywhere you like, or visit me at cleartarotnyc@gmail.com, and we will set it up. I have somebody today and I have somebody next week, but we can slot you in. You may notice that it is not, in fact, noon right now. It is closer to 1. Thank you so much to my friend Laura for reminding me that I'm doing this. This has never happened before. I was like peacefully sitting in my chair, getting ready for some tarot clients who are coming over later today for readings. Kind of in the back of my mind, I'd like to say that in the back of my mind, I was like, there's something I'm supposed to be doing, but there wasn't. There really wasn't. I was just doing other stuff. Oh gosh, I hate squinting at the screen. Hello, someone I don't know who's Go Plethora. Did I just pronounce your handle right? I'm saying hi back to you. So I think because I'm super late, we will just get right into it. However, people over here on YouTube or on Facebook will notice I have a nifty banner across the bottom of the screen that says starcon.com, January 21st, 6 p.m. Eastern. That is because if perchance you or anyone you know is attending the StarCon Hybrid Tarot and Metaphysical National Conference, it is taking place in person in Florida and everywhere online. I've been invited to speak on a panel, pretty excited about it. I'm going to do 20 minutes of my solo show, How to Read Tarot Cards, which is a piece of theater, not a lecture, although it's kind of partially a lecture. And then they're going to interview me. So that is happening. That's coming up. I'm pretty excited about it. If you would like to get on my mailing list, please let me know and I will put you on it. So like I said, my name is Rebecca. This is a weekly free tarot live stream that I do because I realized at some point, there's tons of kinds of tarot readers, tarot consultants and coaches out there. I do things my way. It's much easier to show you rather than talk about it. And especially on a day when I am an hour late from my live stream. Why don't we just get into it? Today's reading is for, I don't know her name. I'm going to call her by her Instagram handle, Vindicated Girls. She has asked me a question. She is in school and she's asked me a question about her exams in April and about where she's going to end up. There's a lot of, I remember this well. I was going to say anxiety, but it doesn't feel like anxiety. It feels like drive and motivation and an excitement to do well and to really make her mark and to end up really making the most of her educational experience. So this is, as I always say, a reading for her. If you're watching this, it is also a reading for you. Let's see what the cards have to say to her. Vindicated Girls, which is a really pretty great handle. I'm considering taking it for myself. Why not? I have one over here. I'm the tarot philosopher. I am Clear Tarot NYC. I'm Rebecca Hart. You can find me at Rebecca Hart World. That's my personal account. Blah, blah, blah. Vindicated Girls. Academic career. Let's see what happens. What do I want to say to you? Wish I had a little music to play during that shuffling time. I'm going to consider it for future live streams. Yeah, I'm laughing because right off the bat, I knew this guy would probably make an appearance. This 9 of Swords. I was just talking about this card yesterday, saying that this is what I affectionately call the insomnia card. This is that moment, when we wake up at 3 a.m. and decide that that's the best time to go over every choice we've ever made and evaluate it. I read something really great recently online that said, don't trust anything you think about your life after 9 p.m. I mean, unfortunately, as Vindicated Girls well knows, this is not something that only happens at 3 p.m. This is like a little bit of a mental inventory of like, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? And all of the ways things could go that can really afflict any of us at any time of the day, especially when we're in a high pressure situation. So the first thing I see is you here, this is like, how's it going to go? I think the main thing is like so many moments in life that are transitional points. What do I have control over and what don't I have control over? What's going to happen? And feeling powerless to make stuff happen. And that is because you are. Like right now, these cards can look a little intimidating, but I always say when the blindfold comes up in tarot, there's a couple of images of being blindfolded and bound. It just means don't move. And if you can't see what's ahead of you, because you can't right now, look within. So right now you're doing everything you can do. This is kind of a message to just remember to like check in with you and what's going on inside you as in addition to everything that's going on ahead of you and around you in the world world of results, because it's getting you to this place of it can result in this feeling of pain, and these two together, this is what it means to be human, friends, feeling powerless to have total control over your future. So I think it's kind of funny because theoretically I'm a fortune teller, right? I'm someone who people come to know about the future. And then I turn around and say, there's no such thing as the future. There's only choices we make now and things we don't have control over. So I think the tarot is just kind of saying like, ooh, I see it. I see the like anxiety that comes in this moment. But what I think is really great is what comes as a result of that is this great wisdom. And I think two things. I think you're ascending to a position of greater knowledge. Obviously, there's a option for you out there to be a teacher figure if you want to in some way, to pass on what you've learned, because this Hierophant is kind of the universal teacher. It's the archetype of teaching, not just mental intellectual knowledge, but spiritual knowledge, of helping others develop. But I think also given this and a couple of cards that I just pulled beforehand, which I do sometimes just for fun, there's at least one very powerful teacher coming up for you. That's it feels grad schooly, it feels mentory, it feels very masculine. I'm not sure whether that'll play out or not, but it feels like a very strong, powerful guide that's coming up for you. So that's something that I think, if that's not in your list of wishes and goals, like it's just something that's coming up. Let me put the rest of these out before I continue to talk your ear off. I think there's a job that comes up pretty fast also, because I'm looking at this Page of Pentacles in the immediate future. This is kind of like, you're like, there's so much like Sturm und Drang is the phrase that really wants to come out of my mouth right now, but like kind of self-torture, not in a terrible way, but this like constant like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And we kind of forget sometimes that things like just are given to us and that pop up and that are unexpected. I'm not saying you have to take it, but I do think the Page of Pentacles to me is a new job, or it's like a new opportunity at least that pops up even before we get to the next phase of schooling. So you may have a choice about whether you want to continue school or start work. I mean, immediate past is this big moment of clarity about what you're meant to do on Earth. I think we've come to sort of a new moment of clarity about that. And then coming up is like, oh, someone else recognizes that and offers me some employment. So I see a little bit of a fork in the road for you. Yeah, like you as you are right now. Again, I just feel like the tarot wants to say, like, don't worry. There's just so much intelligence and clarity in who you actually are. I mean, it's easy to get caught up in like what might happen, what could be, all of the roads not taken, like trying to like seal all the deals now and like tie up all the loose ends. And some of them just aren't for you to tie up. So I think let's just like take a pause and acknowledge that we've done a lot of work to get to this kind of razor sharp moment of like, I know who I am, and it's being recognized, but I think also you're in such a crucible right now. You're young, you're at this turning point. You're in this time where like things are going to kind of be changing like day to day, that you as your effect on others is this wheel of fortune where like you think you have to have a little patience with yourself about how what you want is, you're going to wake up a couple days in a row being like, wait, that's not what I wanted. I thought that's what I wanted yesterday. I think you might make a plan. And then like, again, something comes out of left field. It's like, oh, maybe I want to do this job instead. And this is actually, I think it's a good time for every once in a while for us to remember that the Wheel of Fortune is actually what life is. It's constant change. It's constant moving up and moving down. And if we can get comfortable with that, we can sort of ride the wave. And if we're not comfortable with it and we're fighting it, we feel like things are against us instead of for us, which they are. They're delivering options. They're delivering options to you. And so there's like a little bit of a sense of like, oh, I could do this and I could do this. But just remember that you're a person with a lot of you have a lot of clarity. Your inner voice is not going to steer you in a wrong direction. There's no such thing as wrong direction, unless, and I'm going to close with this, you act too soon. I think there's like, it's not impatience or impetuousness fully, but you're young and there's like all of these options and opportunities that are going to be coming your way. And sometimes I think like you mistake taking a minute, allowing yourself to not know, being between things as like it's bad. And like clarity in making a decision is good, and I think a lot of us do that. And I think sometimes like this Five of Swords here is just telling me that there's potential for you to like rush yourself, commit to something before you're ready, try to move on from one thing before it's actually finished. And I think now that you've done a lot of work, and I think now is, I know we've got these exams coming up. I think rest is going to be important as you move towards them. For what it's worth, Friendly Neighborhood Tarot Card Reader is like, you're not going to come out of the exams and be like, I can't believe that went so badly. There's no world in which that happens unless you put too much pressure on yourself, unless you don't rest enough, and unless you rush yourself, so this is just kind of saying slow down. And that applies to questions of, work or further study after you finish the exams, and it applies to the exams themselves. Like, I think you could be your own worst enemy. So let's try not to do that. Let's try to like finish one thing at a time and trust that, you're so intelligent and you've done so much work that there's not really a bad, there's no outcome that is going to undo any of that, So I think, again, I think rest and one foot in front of the other, taking one step at a time and kind of trusting all the work you've done. And again, just like being on the outlook for unexpected gifts, unexpected opportunities. And that's what I see, Vindicated Girls. If you ever want to talk to me more in depth about anything in your life, if anybody else wants to have some time with me as a tarot consultant, you can find me at cleartarotnyc.com. You can book one-on-one full-length readings, or there's an option for a package of 3 that's a little less expensive than the one-on-one reading. I'm doing a lot of events right now, which I have been loving, corporate events, birthdays, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm sounding like an infomercial, so I think I'll stop. But you know where to find me. As always, this has been great to hang out with you, and I will see you in the future. Bye.